Welcome back everybody. Today I'm pretty excited because I'm back here at XC Skatepark in Hemel Hempstead. Now I'm really looking forward to riding their pool style bowl. This is another step up in terms of the gnarliness of the coping, and today I really want to experiment with getting a 50-50 grind. Last time out here my goal was to try and get a carve grind over the steps. So I think today if I can get a 50-50 grind over the steps, that would be a nice bit of progression. Now I think the main challenge is going to be getting on that coping, getting locked into a grind, travelling, and also bailing without getting caught up with those steps. And those steps stick out and they're probably right where I want a knee slide when I'm initially trying to learn to lock into that coping. Last time I was here I managed to get an axle stall in the shallow end, and I also managed to ride on to a 50-50 and then come into the bowl that way. But I never managed to get on top and do a full-on 50-50 grind. Anyway, enough of my yakking. It's on with the pads. I'm going to get in there and warm up by seeing if I can get that carve grind over the steps going again. Okay, those carving grinds are feeling pretty comfortable. I was concentrating on keeping my front shoulder in line with the turn and not allowing it to open up. I think that's going to be my big enemy when I start to try the 50-50 grind. So I'm going to see if I can find a line into the 50-50 grind. My first goal is to try and get up on the top and just ride along the top of the deck. Okay, that's stage one completed. Managed to get up on the top of the deck. On a couple I managed to get both trucks onto the coping. My biggest enemy is a lack of speed on entry. The surface in the pool is pretty slick and that's leading me to be cautious with my pumping. Need to get a bit more courageous, bend my knees more and generate a bit more speed coming into that grind. I'm also fearful of getting caught up on that step, so at the moment I'm going a little bit too high out over the coping to try and avoid that eventuality. My next goal is to see if I can get cross-locked on that coping and travel along a bit, see if I can get it to feel like I could attempt to come back in. Crikey, managed to bring a couple in. There's a couple of problems that might not come out on the camera here. Number one, the coping really sticks out, so it feels more like a slappy grind to get on it, and that's really hindering me lock into that cross-lock 50-50. Also, I always find it difficult to come back in. I find I open my shoulder on the re-entry, and I don't want to bend my knees. So today I'm trying to focus on keeping my front shoulder engaged and also bending my knees on the re-entry. My next goal is to see if I can get a nice smooth grind with the shoulder locked and also the re-entry nice and smooth. Okay, those are starting to feel pretty good now. I'm finding a bit more speed is really helping, and a bit more speed coming in is also helping with the re-entry. Well, that's it for this video. That was pretty exciting. It was really fun trying to get across those steps. That's the first time I've tried to do a 50-50 across an obstacle like some steps, and it really brings up the fear factor. I just didn't want to get tangled up with those steps coming back in. Obviously can't knee slide. Going onto the knees on top of those steps, oh, that would have been pretty emotional. I think overall this is the most challenging coping I've skated to date. It's really, really chunky, it's really, really rough, and I found I had to get just the right foot pressures. If I had too much front foot pressure, the front truck just dug in and I went over the front. I found I also had to get the lock in just right. On that extra fat coping, it's quite easy to lose the front wheel. So that front shoulder had to be just right to keep on guiding that front wheel around the corner. I've got to say I'm pretty tired. The Apple Watch is saying I burnt 1,500 calories, and the line that I took to get enough speed went through the deep end on the front side carve and then back out over the waterfall on the backside carve, and all that pumping really got the heart rate up. I recently switched back to the 7-ply Andy Anderson deck with a 15-inch wheelbase. I've gone for no risers this time and independent trucks with 58mm wheels, and I have to say it's going really well on the pull coping. I had loads of fun testing out this setup the other day at Concrete Waves. Happened upon a few double 50-50 grind lines in the shallow end, and I also got a few deep end 50-50 grinds going. If you're new to the channel, feel free to hit subscribe. I make new videos every week. You can also follow me on Instagram @JohnBishopSkate. As ever, my name's been John Bishop, and I'm a middle-aged guy learning how to skate.